Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope everybody is having a fantastic week so far, and for those of you who are celebrating Christmas and it's getting later in your country, I hope you're having a joyous and happy time. Welcome, Jaineel. Thank you for the good morning wishes. Welcome, members. This is a members chat class, everyone. Of course, all students are welcome to watch. If you'd like to become a member of our channel, just click the join button next to the subscribe button. If you don't see that button, you can send me an email. My email is adrian@aehelp.com. You can send me an email with any other question as well regarding the IELTS exam or the English language. Welcome, Kyber. In this class today, right now, students, we are looking at an IELTS Task 2 writing question, and we're going through the steps to get a Band 9 score. These steps are not invented by me. They are kind of the standard steps to good essay writing that you would learn in Canada or in the UK or in the US, Australia, in grade 11, grade 12, and first year college or university. So I will be showing you these steps in this class. This lesson, again, students, is brought to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS success, visit us there. For the general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. On both of these websites, we have tons of information to help you with your writing, including editing services. This is our academic IELTS website here, and all you need to do to join our premium package is click this red button just right there. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access, so it's well worth it. And you can see right there that we're an IELTS desk registration center and certified agents. We are world leaders when it comes to preparing for the IELTS exam. Welcome, Ataizaz. Welcome, Rumi. Good to see more people. Carolina, nice to have our chat moderator joining in also. Students, general IELTS, it's the green background. Click this big red button to join our premium package. There, again, it's a one-time payment, lifetime access. The course costs about 1/10 of the IELTS exam, so it's really, really well worth it to invest that bit of money and get the best score that you can with the right materials. You can get our apps, Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help, from your app stores. The apps will link with the websites, so you're learning from the same account using the website or the app. Instagram has our daily vocabulary, our schedule. Follow us on IG or Instagram, IELTS_AEHelp and GIELTS Help. So again, we've got classes today and tomorrow. That's right, bringing you classes even on Christmas, working hard to make sure that you get the best scores possible. One of the reasons we decided to do this is we were surprised to find how many people are writing IELTS exams around the world on these days. So lots of people doing their exams today, tomorrow. So good luck to all of those students who are doing that, and we are here doing our best to give you some tips for those tests. Students, so we've got reading coming up after this class. Everybody will be able to join that chat. That's in about 90 minutes. And right now, we are into some IELTS writing. Let me make this a little bit smaller. I think it'll be a bit better there. Okay. So today this is our IELTS writing task 2 question, and for the task 2 question, your very first step, of course, is to read this question carefully. Welcome back to our group of members. Atharwa, I love your avatar. Naruto being one of my favorite animes of all time, for sure. Hello. Welcome, Mi Yen. Thank you for the Christmas wishes to everyone. Okay, students, so let's take a look at this task 2 writing. Let's read this carefully, okay? You should spend 40 minutes on this task. Okay, let's read it carefully. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task, but it really should be 40 minutes, okay? Some people feel the best way to spend a holiday season, like Eid, Christmas, or Diwali, is to travel and explore, while others feel this time is better spent at home relaxing. Discuss both of these views and give your own opinion. Use examples and explanations from your own experience. So as you can see, we kind of went with a question that's fitting for the times, for the festive season. Here, our first step is to paraphrase this question. By paraphrasing the question, we make sure that we understand it. We start gathering some ideas. We start thinking about it. This is not your introductory paragraph. This is simply just a self-check and a bit of thinking. Okay, but it's very, very useful. It's very, very important because a lot of students make the mistake of writing off topic because they don't pay attention enough to the question. So I'm going to paraphrase this. You do the same, everyone, and then we'll compare. Okay, so certain individuals. It's just a really quick and easy way to paraphrase. Some people feel. Okay, feel is like believe, right? So certain individuals believe the optimal way. Okay, instead of best way, you can say optimal way. To is to go on a trip and discover new places. However, those on the opposite side of this argument, that the most enjoyable way to use holiday time is to unwind at home. Explain both these perspectives and provide your own position. Use cases and explanations from your own experience. All right. So there's my paraphrase. I just basically took the approach of mostly using synonyms, right? So words that have similar meanings. So here's the original. Some people feel the best way to spend a holiday season like Eid, Christmas, or Diwali is to travel and explore, while others feel this time is better spent at home relaxing. Discuss both of these views and give your own opinion. Use examples and explanations from your own experience. So I have certain individuals believe the optimal way to experience the festive season like Eid, Christmas, or Diwali is to go on a trip and discover new places. However, those on the opposite side of this argument ascertain that the most enjoyable way to use holiday time is to unwind at home. Explain both these perspectives and provide your own position. Use cases and explanations from your own experience. Okay, cool. So I've got a lot of paraphrasing. If you see some new words in here like optimal, for example, meaning the best or the number one, optimum, optimal, and then make sure you note it in your vocabulary, okay? All right. Meanwhile, I'm looking at the chat, and in the chat, Atharwa. So here's the chat, everyone, just so you can see what I'm looking at. So Atharwa says, sir, I got my results. Listening 7, reading 7, speaking 7, writing 6, overall 7. Thank you so much, sir and guys, for your help. Atharwa, that's fantastic. Yeah, writing is quite tricky. I don't know why IELTS makes it so tough, but Atharwa, nonetheless, an overall band score 7 means you are a good user of the English language. So thumbs up. You've worked hard for that. Awesome. Atharwa, please do send me an email so that I can grab your testimonial. I'd love to have it. Okay. All right. Kyber is also paraphrasing, which is very good. Kyber, I love how you get ready for these classes and you're prepared. That's a really good step towards success. So Kyber writes, certain individuals ascertain that going from one place to another and discovering is the best choice of spending holidays like Christmas, Eid, or Diwali, while opponents believe staying restful at home throughout this season is better. Very nice paraphrasing, Kyber. I love the grammar paraphrasing, how you're kind of switching up the sentence, and that's great. Express both sides and provide your own perspective. Very nice. Nicely done, Kyber. And I'm impressed by how much your accuracy has improved. So you really don't have any mistakes in there, and that's great. Okay, Rashika writes, certain individuals ascertain. Ascertain means to believe. It's quite a nice piece of vocabulary, which means believe or feel. That it is better to earn a holiday season such as Eid, Christmas, or Diwali is to visit and look, while opponents believe the best way to spend holiday period is home relax. Okay, let me grab that sentence, Rashika, and fix it a little bit. You've got a few mistakes in there. Okay, so this is Rashika's paraphrase here. All right, let's fix this up a little bit grammatically and so on. All right, so certain individuals ascertain that it is better to earn a holiday season. Earn does not make sense here, Rashika. It's not the correct verb. Using the wrong verb, Rashika, in your writing can be really confusing and you can really lose a lot of marks. So you have to really pay attention to your word choice, okay? So instead of earn, we want to say it is better to, let's see what you did here, okay? Better to use holiday time, okay, such as Eid, Christmas, or Diwali, by visiting. And sightseeing. Let's use that instead of look. So certain individuals ascertain that it is better to use holiday time such as Eid, Christmas, or Diwali by visiting and sightseeing, while opponents believe the best way to spend the holiday period is to be at home and relax. You can't say home relax. That doesn't make sense, Rashika. To be at home and relax, okay? So now you've got a clear sentence, all right? So a number of mistakes in there, and some of those are quite confusing. So you do have to be quite careful when you're paraphrasing, okay? Make sure to check. Rashika, a couple of different ways to make sure that your writing is clear and accurate. Number one is use software like Word Grammar Check or Grammarly. Okay, and number two is get peer and professional feedback or editing. Okay, kind of like what I just did in this class. Okay. So you can do that on the website too, Rashika. I don't know if you've ever used it, but on our websites, when you are logged into your My Student account, there are these green task 1 writing, task 2 writing buttons. So you can click on that button, and then once you click on that button, you can either choose a question for task 1 or task 2, and then you can write into the text area here, and then you can send it or submit it for editing. Okay, so you can use that function there. All right, so that's some ways to get help with your mistakes. Okay. Let me check a couple more here. Mien says, many individuals think that they should spend holidays like Eid, Christmas, or Diwali getting away. However, others ascertain that the most suitable way to spend holidays is to unwind at home. Okay. Way to do in holiday, Mien, is awkward English. It doesn't really make sense. Okay, so careful with that. Buckrat says, few individuals believe that a good way to invest the holiday season, such as Eid, Christmas, or Diwali, is to go out on a tour, and others think that during this period, it's great to stay at home and relax. Okay, good. Nadine, welcome to our group of members. Happy to have you on board. Make sure to send us an email so we can send you your links to the exclusive videos. Bandita writes, certain individuals consider the best way to celebrate the festivals like Eid, Christmas, or Diwali is by taking a beautiful trip and learning about different holiday destinations. However, opponents believe that the optimal way to enjoy the festive season is to be at home and relax for the occasion. Okay, Bandita, not bad. Careful with including information into your paraphrase that might not be there, like beautiful trip, okay, or learning about holiday destinations. It's a bit awkward, okay, so careful. All right, everyone, so now we want to identify the topic in our next step. Okay, so before you go any further, make sure to identify the topic in this step. Okay, so this is step 2. And the topic is what we are actually discussing. So what is in discussion here? What are we discussing here, students? So what's the topic of this question? Always think about the original question when you are thinking about the topic. So in this question, what is the topic? Okay, what's the what are we talking about? Okay. Okay, Kyber says an effective way of spending the holiday season. Okay. Mien says ways to spend the holiday season. Okay, yeah, I agree, right? So that's what we're talking about. The best way, right? Don't forget the word the best. The best way to spend the holidays. All right, that's what we're talking about. Okay, so the best way to spend the holidays. And then we identify the controlling ideas. And in this case, the controlling ideas, of course, are either to go on a trip or to stay at home. All right. So once we have that, the next step, and we're moving nice and quickly here, okay, when you're getting all of this set up. So again, in your IELTS exam, you don't have lots of time to do this. You only have a few minutes to really think about all of these points. And in your official IELTS exam, you're really thinking about this just mostly in your head, okay? So step 3 is to think critically about the topic and controlling idea. All right, so basically you should ask what, why, and how about these ideas, okay? So what is meant by the best way to spend the holidays? Okay, what do you think that is? So what would be your answer to that? So if I were sitting in a coffee shop with you and we're having a chit chat on this topic, and I'm like, hi, Janelle. I'm kind of stressed out because my wife really wants to go on a trip to Hawaii, but I just want to stay at home and relax. And we're trying to figure out what is the best way to spend the holidays. Can you help me out with this, Janelle? You're my friend, and we've known each other for a long time. What do you think this means? Like, what does this actually mean for people? The best way to spend the holiday? Then how would you answer that, Janelle? And of course, I'm not just asking Janelle, but I'm asking everybody. Janelle, I just picked your name, so I could give this example, but this is kind of how you're thinking about this, right? So what would you answer for that? So how would you advise your old pal Adrian to think about this so that I can make the best decision possible? Okay. All right, so Kyber says to unwind and enjoy yourself while being away from work or school. Nadine says spend your time with your family. Carolina says to go to Hawaii by yourself. All right. Okay. Yeah. So we're getting some different answers, and as funny as those answers are, and this is kind of what I was hoping this question would do for us, is spread a bit of joy and happiness while we're doing this class, and I'm glad that we're getting some laughs out of it. But the answer is actually hidden in your funny responses. So when Carolina says go to Hawaii by yourself, when Nadine says spend your time with your family, and Kyber's saying to unwind and enjoy, there is actually the answer that's there. Notice how all of you are giving kind of different answers, and I think that's part of what the best answer is here. Okay. Miles says, think about the kind of weather to decide the activity you want to enjoy. Okay, so another different answer. All right, Bandita says, utilize the festive time and celebrating the occasion to the fullest with family and friends. Okay. All right, Buckrat says, it's to enjoy more and to get free from office work. Okay. All right, so everybody's got different answers, right? So obviously what you should be realizing here is that the answer to this question is subjective. It depends on the individual, right? So the best way to spend the holiday season, if you asked me, so if you said, Adrian, what's the best way? Okay, so I would say the optimal way to spend the holiday is the activity which results in the greatest level of happiness and fulfillment for the individual. Okay, so if the happiest, most rewarding time for you is to go to Hawaii and hang out on the beach, then that's what you should do. If the way that you feel the happiest and least stressed is to be together with family, enjoy a nice meal, some good family conversation, and just watch a movie and hang out, then that's what you should do. So each person has to decide this depending on their position, right? If your work or your job or your school is super tiring, it might just be a good idea to hang out at home. If you have a bit of energy, if you've got money saved up, if you feel like exploring the world, then that's what you should do, right? And so this starts to lead into answering a lot of the other questions as well. So the optimal way to spend the holiday is the activity which results in the greatest level of happiness and fulfillment for the individual. Would everybody agree on that with me? So am I able to convince you that this is the right answer to this question? Okay. So Mian says here the answer is it depends, right? Yeah, absolutely, Mien. Now, even Mien, though the answer is it depends, we want to stay away from saying it depends. So rather than stating it depends, we want to explain what it depends on rather than saying it depends. Okay? All right. And I can see Kyber and Carolina with some thumbs up and going, yes, of course, that makes sense. All right. So then the next question. So, Mien, yes, you're right. It depends is kind of, and I always tell students stay away from that, is the right answer here. But don't state that it depends, but rather explain what it depends on, right? So it depends on the happiness and fulfillment of the individual. Okay, does that make sense? And that's a pretty important tip here. So rather than simply stating it depends, express the notion that it actually depends on. Okay, all right, Mien says, got it, sir. It makes a lot more sense. So rather than having your reader or your audience think about, well, what does it depend on, right? Okay, the next questions, let's go through these pretty quick. I'm going to write them. You can give me the answers while I'm writing them, okay? I want to get into the introduction here as well. So why is the best way different for different people? Okay, so that would be the next right question. Again, students really pay attention to practice or practicing the right question. So always practice the right questions. Okay, because then you're going to be able to write a much more meaningful essay. Okay, so practice writing the right questions. All right. So why is it the best way different for different people? Because people have different feelings according. So again, notice how Mien, I'm avoiding that it depends kind of thing, depending. Okay, so I really work hard to avoid that word depend so that my brain can give more accurate answers. I'm forcing my brain into more accurate communication and language. So because people have different feelings according to stress, fatigue, budget, and family, right? Some people are very close with their family. Some people might be a little bit more distant. Some people might not have as much family, right? So all of those different points. Some people might be a lot more stressed. Some people might be a lot more tired. Some people might have more money to go traveling. Some people might have less money to go traveling, right? So next question, how can we observe this, right? A rich business owner with a big family has money and time to go on a family vacation to Hawaii. Okay. On the other hand, a poor cashier is tired from working 12 hours a day and just wants to relax at home in front of the TV. Right? So that could be the opposite. So again, here I'm visualizing. Okay? Cashier, we can even add in who is a bachelor. So it means they're kind of just by themselves. Okay, so you've got a bit of contrast there. So you've got this kind of visual difference of why one would choose one or the other. And then maybe that cashier is also going to school. They're studying hard. One day they become a rich businessman, and then they too find the love of their life, have some kids, and then travel to Costa Rica. All right, so it changes, right? Okay, and then you want to do the same when you're going through the controlling ideas. So what, why, how? So what does it mean to go on a vacation abroad? What does it mean to stay at home? Why people do this? How people do this? We have a lot of overlap between the topic and the controlling idea here, which is good. Okay, it means that we're on the right track. All right. And of course, in the official IELTS exam, you're doing this in your head. Okay, so you are doing all of this critical thinking in your head. Okay, so complete this thinking. Okay, and I see Nadia and Romain giving some good answers there in the General English channel there as well. So, so complete this thinking for the controlling ideas. And then now you're on to the next step, okay, which is step 4. And in step 4, you're able to write your thesis statement. Okay, your thesis statement, it's the cornerstone of your essay. It's a very, very important sentence. It's the most important sentence. It has to be clear. It has to be accurate. So the thesis statement is the sentence in your introduction that gives the reader, okay, A, your argument, B, the voice of your essay, and C, the structure of your essay. And all high band essays, so that are band 7 and higher, must have a good thesis statement, okay? So again, step 4 is writing your thesis statement. It's the sentence of your introduction. Usually it's at the end of the introduction, okay? It's the last sentence of your introductory paragraph. And it's the one that introduces your argument, okay? So what is the persuasion of the essay in this case? It introduces the voice, so is it first, second, third person voice? Okay, and the structure of your essay, so what can the reader expect in body paragraph 1? What can they expect in body paragraph 2? Okay, everyone, so it's time to write our thesis statement based on all of this planning that we just did. Okay, so we paraphrased, then we identified the topic, we identified the controlling ideas, we did some critical thinking about the topic and the controlling ideas, and now we should have decided on why some people decide to go away on vacations, why some people decide to stay at home, what we think is the best approach, and then now we can put together that thesis statement, okay? So, give me a nice thesis statement, everybody. I'm giving you a head start. That's why I'm kind of summarizing what we did to get here so that you can get a head start and start writing before I give you the thesis. I don't want to just give you the thesis. I want you to figure this out on your own, members. It's a very important learning step. Now, once you've written the thesis, you always want to make it concise. That means as short as possible while keeping all of the information necessary for your essay. Okay, so you might write it a couple of times. All right, I'm going to start writing it, and then we'll compare with what our members have. Okay, so Okay, so there's my thesis statement, and I'm doing it as 2 sentences. Okay. All right. Romaine writes, in regard to your situation, the most effective, the most valuable way could be. Romaine, that's not bad. It's not bad thinking, but don't use the word your. Okay. Don't write a second person voice essay. So stay away from using your. All right. Okay. So let's see what our members are coming up with. Right. Mal says, can we get back to the question, please? Sure. And Mal, it is a good idea often when you're coming up with your thesis statement to read the original question. So here's the original question. Some people feel the best way to spend a holiday season, like Eid, Christmas, or Diwali, is to travel and explore, while others feel this time is better spent at home relaxing. Discuss both of these views and give your own opinion. Use examples and explanations from your own experience. Okay, so let's see. Kyber writes, and so again, I'm just looking at the chat here to see what our members are coming up with. Okay, so Kyber writes, I don't know if I can zoom in on this. I can. Okay, so here we go. Let me make this bigger here in the chat. Okay, all right. Yeah, maybe that's too big. Oh, now I've gone and messed up the chat, so okay. Let me fix our chat here. I zoomed in a little bit too much and didn't really like that much, so let me fix this. Okay, all right. Let me get us back here and read some thesis statements. Okay. So, Kyber, I'm going to get to your thesis statement here, I promise you. All right. So, Kyber writes, I believe that spending the festive season at home is better since it will strengthen family bonds and save money. Yeah, Kyber, you can do that. Okay, so you can write on one side of the argument, but you still have to present the other side. Okay, so Kyber, it's a partial thesis. Remember, you have to discuss both. Okay, so let me show you what I mean here. Okay, so this is Kyber's thesis statement, and it's pretty good. Okay, but you're missing half of it, and I don't see the other half, so to me it does look like you're missing it, Kyber. So this is what I would write, Kyber, even though, okay, I'll just write it. So even though some individuals like to travel during the holidays, for entertainment, I believe, okay? So you have to write one paragraph on why people like to go traveling on their holidays. So you still have to include this part here, Kyber. Even though some individuals like to travel during their holidays for entertainment, I believe that spending the festive season at home is better since it will strengthen the family bond and save money. Now, another important correction, Kyber, is taking out will. Okay, don't use the future. So here, if I were editing your work, what I would do is I would do this. Okay, so I would give you a note and write do not. So I don't know if you can see my comments, but off to the right here, I would write a comment saying do not jump to the future using will. Okay, so in good academic essays, students especially, you should not use will. Okay, all right, now I'm going to remove the comment just so that you can see my screen a little bit better, but you want to take out will. So I believe that spending the festive season at home is better since it strengthens family bonds and saves money. and saves money. So I would do it like that, okay? Kyber, now it's a more accurate thesis statement. All right. Jaineel writes, I believe that the optimal way to spend time on holidays is related to an individual who can either go to a new place or rest at home through experiencing the greatest satisfaction. Okay. All right. I like it. I think, so Jaineel, it's a good thesis statement. So this is Jaineel's thesis statement here. Okay. Let me not track the changes here. All right. And then, so this is Jaineel here. Okay. Jaineel, let me just do a little bit of fixing of your thesis as well, your writing. Okay, so I believe that the optimal way to spend holidays, you don't need the on. Okay, one more time. All right, so now let's track some changes. So you don't need on, it's a unnecessary and confusing preposition there. So I believe that the optimal way to spend holidays, you don't need time, you can just take that away as well, is related to the individual, not and, but it's the individual, okay, the unique individual. So the individual who can either go to a new place or rest at home through experiencing the greatest satisfaction. I would write whichever is the greatest satisfaction for them, depending on their budget, stress, and family. Okay, so I would include those pieces, right? And then you're giving much, much more clarity for your reader, Jaineel. So taking that planning, you're right, that we looked at, and then you can write it this way. So I believe that the optimal way to spend holidays is related to the individual who can either go to a new place or rest at home, whichever is the greatest satisfaction for them, depending on their budget, stress, and family, right? And then now you have a really good thesis statement. Okay, I hope that makes sense. If you have questions when I'm fixing these, you can just ask me. Okay. All right. Let me take another one here. So here is Mal. Okay. So let's take Mal's thesis statement. This is Mal's thesis statement here, and let's take a look at this. Okay. By the way, Kyber and Jaineel, the content is good. That's what's most important, and then you just want to work on fixing it. Okay, so Mal writes, holidays are a joyous times for most people. Careful with your plural singular. Joyous times is confusing. They are times to unwind and to do those activities that people did not get to do in the year. Some like to use this time for themselves, while others choose to... where's the rest of it, Mal? I'm not sure where it is. But anyway, quick correction here, Mal, is holidays are joyous times. So careful with your plural singular mismatch. Okay, it's because of this S, or sorry, this S here. Joyous times. Okay, for most people, right? They are times to unwind and to do those activities that people did not get to do in the year. Mal, when you're writing, I'm also doing this, students, to kind of give you some ideas of what your where your writing might need some more attention. Okay, so where you might be making mistakes. Okay. They are times to unwind and to do those activities that people did not get to do in the year. Seems really wordy. Okay. I would just write, it gives some a chance to unwind and others a chance to do new activities. Okay, so you have to make that more concise, Mal. It's really wordy the way that you've written it. It's kind of awkward to read, right? Some like to use this time for themselves, while others choose to spend it with their family. I'm guessing that's the end of that. Again, it's a bit of redundancy, so it's a bit too general for a thesis statement, so I wouldn't really go with this one for a thesis statement, okay? All right. So we've got some more here by Mi-Yen and Nadine as well, but I promise I'll get to editing some of your work as well, Nadine and Mi-Yen, a little bit later on. For now, I want to compose the introductory paragraph, okay? So the introductory paragraph has 3 parts, okay? So introduction has 3 parts. It has a hook, it has a background, and it has a thesis, okay? And once you do your planning, the introduction should go fairly quickly because you have most of the information that you need in the planning, okay? For the hook, you just need to come up with a fact about this topic, so the best way to spend the holiday season. What is a good fact that will catch your reader's attention about this topic, the best way to spend the holiday season? I know I got one. I'm just going to write it. All right, so nice and quick and short, and it's a really good hook. Just think about your family, right? I'm sure all of us, or most of us, have gotten into situations where somebody's saying, oh, let's go on a trip this time when, you know, Diwali's coming, or let's go on a trip when Eid or Christmas is coming. And then other people are like, no, I just want to stay at home and relax and watch some TV. I've got a few different shows that I really want to get into, and I'm so tired. So people actually do get into kind of little squabbles and arguments within the family, right, of whether to go on a trip and to use a bit more money and energy and more excitement, and other people are like, I want to stay at home. So people often argue about the best ways to spend the holidays. It's true. It's a fact. It makes it interesting for your audience to listen more, right? Because people want to know, okay, what do you have? What's your answer, right? And then for the background, you just take basically the planning here, right? So and you take the definition as well. So most individuals, or many, get a week or more break from work and school during holiday seasons such as Christmas, Eid, or Diwali, to spend personal time either at home or on a trip. Okay, so I'm just giving the background to the reader here. All right, so again, when you're at home, keep reading and rereading your introduction for clarity, for being concise. So people often argue about the best ways to spend the holidays. Most individuals get a week or more break from work and school during holiday seasons, such as Christmas, Eid, or Diwali, to spend personal time either at home or on a trip. And now I've got my background. I can actually give some importance here. So why is this question important? It is important that every person feels refreshed and happy after the festive season. So that's why this question is important to write about, because everybody wants to feel good after the holidays, right? So our goal isn't that we need a vacation after our vacation, although you kind of get that comment from people often is, I was on vacation and now I need a vacation from my vacation, right? Okay. There's no comma after whichever, Janil. You don't need the comma. Okay. All right. Now I can stick in my thesis. Okay, so here I'm just going to stick in my thesis, and then I should be good to go. All right. Okay, so this is my introductory paragraph here, and again, you're thinking, well, how did you do that so fast? But really, all I was doing is just using the planning that we had there. So here's my hook. Okay. People often argue about the best way to spend the holidays. Here's my background. It's my definition and the importance of this discussion. Most individuals get a week or more break. Notice the quantification here, a week or more break from work and school during the holiday season, such as Christmas, Eid, or Diwali, to spend personal time either at home or on a trip. It is important that every person feels refreshed and happy after the festive season. Therefore, it is better to go away for the holidays when this is the most rewarding for the individual. However, it's ideal to stay at home when this is needed and enjoyed. I mostly favor the former rather than the later because it is the most fulfilling for me, right? So whichever one I choose depends on my situation. That's basically what I'm telling my reader. All right, so students, finish your introductory paragraphs the same way. So Kyber, you can use this in your introductory paragraph if you'd like. Janil, I believe this one was yours here. Okay, or maybe this one here. So use your thesis statements according to your introductory paragraph, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully that makes sense. Andre's giving me a thumbs up, so I'm guessing that means Andre has clarity here. Okay, Andre writes, millions of individuals have their own plans on how to spend the holidays or where to spend the holiday. Good, Andre, yeah, because it's where, right? At home or abroad. So it's a good hook, Andre. So Andre writes, millions of individuals have their own plans where to spend the holidays. Okay. All right, very nice. Mian says, can you please check my thesis? Okay, Mian writes, let's see. While spending the holidays away or at home is still a debate, I support the former rather than the latter because people deserve a trip after working hard and they can spend more time away on holidays. Okay, Mien, the explanation, like why it's good to go on a trip for the holidays, you can save that for the body paragraph. So students, don't include explanations into your thesis, all right? Save that for the body paragraphs, all right, okay? Buckrat writes, the holidays are the happiest days for people to celebrate with family. That's a good hook, Buckrat, but remember, be accurate with your content. So days, not day, right? Because Christmas, Eid, Diwali, these usually last for at least a few days, not just a day, hopefully, for everyone. Okay, students, so that's the start to this essay, and I hope it's also the start to a good holiday season for many of you around the world that are celebrating Christmas, and of course most people will be celebrating New Year's regardless of religious background. So I hope that the holiday season for everybody is off to a great start, and I hope you're all doing whatever makes you happy, whether that's traveling to new exciting places around the world or staying at home and chilling out and hanging out with family and friends. So whichever one it is, I hope you're having an awesome time. I'm going to be back in 30 minutes with a reading passage where everybody will be able to join in on the chat, and we will complete this essay in tomorrow's member chat class. So make sure you have your introductory paragraphs ready, everyone. Thank you, Carolina, for moderating. Thank you, everyone, for participating and contributing. Thank you for your support, members. Make sure, everyone, to go and visit us at aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. It's this website here with the blue background. All you have to do is join by clicking this big red button. For general IELTS, it's this green background. Click this big red button to join. It doesn't cost a lot. It's really well worth it. Lots of writing help and lots of other videos to assist you with strategies. Okay, again, students, back in half an hour with some reading from our exams. So bye for now. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria, and I will see you shortly.